Another thing that people always ask us about is security. Security. What's going to be the plan? So we went and found one of the best security groups in cannabis. I'm going to kind of quickly make this transition. Haley Glover, thank you so much for being a part of us.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name again is Haley Glover. I am with Sapphire Risk Advisory Group. We are a nationwide cannabis security consulting firm. Over the past 9 years, we've written over 500 applications. We have built out over 70 facilities and done work in about 35 states. So we do have great experience in this industry, and I wish I had a little bit more time, but just so we can kind of move things along, here are my top 5 tips for your cannabis business. The first thing is, do not try and do it all yourself. Just speaking on behalf of the security section of your application, it is very requiring. There are lots of regulations. Some of them can be difficult to understand and actually implement when you get your license. Some of the most common mistakes that I see on applications that are done by our clients themselves is they completely miss a topic, or they will emphasize on the wrong topics. Sometimes they will put in their application that they'll do something that's extremely expensive, and when it comes to being awarded their license, if the state comes out to do an audit or do your inspection and you haven't really followed what you promised in your application, you might not be able to pass and open your business. So hiring the right people to be able to assist you during that process. My second tip is use your resources. This is one of your great resources, is being here tonight. Continuously networking, using the regulatory websites and seeing some links that they would recommend for your business. Just asking current owners and operators what they would recommend. Asking those questions, seeing what might have worked, what didn't work. Attending seminars, trade shows, and I know that we were at CWCB this week, and that's one of the best places that you can go, is speaking to professional vendors, professionals that are in the industry, but really having those communication early on in the process so that you can know what's to expect and what will be after the next phase. Learning from others' mistakes. We don't have to take a picture of ourselves down here to know it's not going to be a good angle. We can always learn from others' mistakes and know that it's probably not going to be the best option. We can put a camera that's behind an exit sign and know good and well that that is not going to be a good camera angle. You can install 5,000 cameras in your facility. It doesn't mean that that's going to be your best option. Your alarm company that installed those, they're at the beach having a margarita right now because you spent a whole lot of money you didn't need to. So learning from others' mistakes. The picture that's on the right, if you have your secured storage room, that is where you're going to have the majority of your product at all times. And if you have something blocking one of your cameras, if something happens in that room, you will not be insured because there is no proof that there was something that was missing because the camera was covered. So asking questions. What works? What didn't work? Do you have any recommendations? Something a lot of our clients say is they wish that they would have made their secured storage larger. Again, that's where you're keeping the majority of your products the whole time. And so you want to make sure that you do have those sufficient space to be able to house all of that. I can't stress this enough. Using experienced vendors. There have been so many moments where I have spoken to a now client who had a family member that could install some cameras for them for a really, really good price. But they didn't actually know there were regulations they had to follow. They didn't know how many days of storage they had to have. So the main reason you need to use somebody who's experienced is these rules and regulations, they must be followed and understood. Best practices utilized from previous cannabis experience. You do learn as you are doing more build-outs and understanding what equipment might work best in your cannabis facility, learning what just really isn't going to be the best for a cannabis business. But having that experience is something that this is what you have spent your money, your time, your efforts on, and if you do not open successfully, then that was a big waste. So do it right from the very beginning. My last one is standard operating procedures. Dispensaries, cultivation, every single location is different. These need to be customized to your facility. They're going to be your robbery and burglary awareness, emergency planning, cash management. How much cash do you have in a drawer during a shift? Something we recommend to our clients is using a cash drop safe that goes underneath the register. That way you don't have too much cash on hand that's easily withdrawn from the drawer. So if somebody comes up, they're trying to rob you, they don't have access to that cash drop safe. So that eliminates the amount that would be taken. Employee training, cannot stress that enough. Having an employee handbook that you're following. Inventory control, do you know what to expect during an audit? So making sure that you have all of these planned out before you actually open. Don't let something happen and then you don't know how to respond to it. Emergency planning, I mean, I live in Texas and we have tornadoes, we have hurricanes. If it happens and I have my dispensary open and somebody goes and burglarizes it, my insurance probably is not going to do a single thing for me because I knew that there was an emergency that was going to happen and I did nothing about it to be proactive. So all in all, I know that I could talk to you about security all evening, but I will leave it at that. And I have a QR code, so if you want to scan that, it'll have my contact information. And thank you for having me.